Alrighty then, chapter 14. When we left off, we had more people coming to meet with Vivian after the Asmite meeting was over. I know you wanted to talk with Michelle, and the premier emissary was gonna come meet you. Who was the third person? I think there was a third.
Ravnos.
Ah,
There
yes.
was. It was Ravnos.
Okay.
The Tremere meeting me was just up to you.
Yeah.
It wasn't something I asked about.
Okay.
And I believe there's a couple things I need to do.
Yes. Roll me 2 luck die. One for how much the Sabbat in particular know about what's going on in the city, and one for how much whatever is down south killing people by the naval base might know. Okay, so that would be 2 for the Sabbat and 7 for whatever's down south.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay then. Okay. Sure. Let's see who shows up to meet you next. So, Ravnos, Michelle, Premier. That's the order. So it will be Michelle that shows up next. Possibly listening at the door for that.
All right.
But yeah, she just slips in past him. And he obfuscates when she steps in. When he goes out.
Hey, Michelle.
Vivian. Good evening.
Good evening to you, too. I actually just need to ask a couple quick questions, and if you have time, if you could stay afterwards, I was going to see about maybe arranging a meeting with everyone to try and discuss things going forward.
Of course.
All right. But the reason I called you here alone, first of all, so what exactly were you doing, say, I need a quick recap. What night is this in comparison to when?
I think it's been like 2 nights.
That's the demon mission went wrong?
Yeah.
2 nights? Okay. Did you do anything interesting about 2 nights ago?
She gets cagey. Well, that's kind of private, but yes.
Hmm? There is a certain matter that needs to be rectified at the moment. And apparently they are using you as a shield at this moment. So I need to verify on what kind of story is going on.
Huh. What are they saying?
Screw it, whatever. I'll be honest, it don't matter. Well, William is proclaiming that you somehow managed to save his life from demonic powers?
Huh. Interesting. That would be a big deal.
Yep. And I can't get him to tell me what it was about, as apparently he considers it possibly something I would kill him over, which makes me very curious.
Huh. Well, that's interesting.
Yes, it is.
Well, did he volunteer this information or did you drag it out of him?
Oh, which part? because I dragged out the whole he's not willing to tell me by dominating him into telling me many of his secrets. But apparently not this one.
About me saving his life.
Oh, that one? That one was him trying to proclaim how he managed to survive it.
I assume you applied
He
pressure.
did that outside the dominate. So.
Uh-huh. Yeah, here's the thing. I'm getting the distinct feeling that something might have happened and I might have done something, but I don't remember it. So he might have wiped it from my mind, and trying to dodge a life boon like that would be a pretty big deal, I would say.
Well, for one, can I roll some to see if I think she's lying or not?
You can roll perception empathy versus her manipulation subterfuge. I'm not gonna. If she is lying, you might be able to see through it.
Okay.
Okay, she genuinely does not remember helping William, and she thinks it's possible she might have randomly run into him, but she doesn't remember it, and she completely expects him to be capable of just mind wiping it from her mind if she had saved him somehow. It seems plausible to her. Apparently she was doing something that had her away from everyone out and about town.
Huh. Oh, geez, I got all my Warhammer stuff open, not the other things I needed. Do you want me to try and maybe see what might have been happening if you've lost your memories for a couple days ago? I'm only just able to do it, but if... I don't think William is much better than me. If at all.
That's alright. It's not that important. I'd rather not be getting dominated.
Yeah, well, this is a bit of an issue, mainly because if what he's saying is true, I'm going to have to assign you on to helping with the demon problem.
She just smiles at that. Vivian, you really think that you can just assign me to go fight a demon? I like you and
I
all,
prefer
but
not fighting. But if you're the only thing that can help defend our people against apparently inescapable commands to kill ourselves...
she just chuckles to herself. You misunderstand. I have no wish to be involved with demons. I value my skin far too much for that.
I don't blame you.
You're at this point getting a vibe of, you could try and force me to do it. You might succeed. ...
I'm surprised that she doesn't really quite understand what her position is like at the moment, but okay. Well, unless something else manages to come up, you're our best defense. I'm not sure how I'm going to explain to those that are trying to hunt the demon how to avoid trying to get your presence on the matter.
No, that's alright.
Okay, if that's how you want to go with it.
Yeah, I really don't want to leave you in a tough spot, but I think you might be the only one that can actually find me when I don't want to be found, and not to put too fine a point on it, it's the sheriff's job to deal with threats, not necessarily mine.
This isn't a matter of the city at this point. Didn't you hear?
What specifically?
Thorbrand wasn't able to resist whatever happened. He's currently with the werewolves, basically dead. Well, not quite dead, but really, really incapacitated at the moment. We're about to have the Camarilla visit.
Huh, isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it's about time for them to come in and do their checkups. And, well, if they discover something like that's happened to Halfdan and William somehow got you to get him out of the situation, they're going to want to know.
I see. Well, that does make for an interesting predicament. But, well, like I said, I would like to help, but I'm kind of getting screwed over here, and if it was anyone but you at this point, I would be heading for the sewers and looking for a place to wait this out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a fairly big issue right now because, well, William's currently being investigated by his higher ups, who really don't want to share anything going on with that. Geez, I want to keep saying Halfdan. It's not Halfdan. It was Thorbrand that got sent to the werewolves, so he's currently out of commission. There's a lot of stuff going down.
Well, here's the
And
thing, Vivian. I kind of fail to see how I might have broken whatever the demon did to him, because she looks at the ghoul. Can we do this part privately? I would happily tell you what I have in my arsenal, but I don't want it spreading.
I don't mind. If you don't mind stepping away for a little bit.
He just glares at the Nosferatu as he leaves.
Yep, you can stay outside the door. There's no issue. Just
Well,
don't listen in.
well, the thing is, as far as what I have available, other than obfuscate, which you already know I'm good at, and dominate, which I assume wouldn't have worked on William anyway.
Hmm?
It's just red gaze that I have available that might have worked, but I fail to see how that might have knocked him out of it. And that is a common enough ability among many clans.
Yeah, I don't see how that would work. From everything I know about, the demon's powers apparently supersede most of ours. Hmm. Well, thank you for trying to be honest. I'll see what can be done. I don't want to try and do anything you don't want to do, and if you really don't remember anything going on, there is a chance that you could have done something.
If it's similar to Dominate, I think Dominate, at least some of Dominate powers, can be superseded by Dread Gaze. Maybe that could have done it, but I guess theoretically, if he came at me and I reacted with that to drive him off, maybe? But
It's possible. I'll try and cross-reference with him and see if he'll tell any specifics at this point now that he's had time to think about it.
well, she stands up. I'm sorry I couldn't be more help.
It's no problem, and sorry to put that all on you. It's just that he decided to start doing it that way. I kind of doubt that that's what happened, mainly just because I definitely wouldn't do anything to him about it.
Well,
If that
if
was the case.
he
But
might expect to be heavily punished or killed for trying to dodge a life boot. If he had done that to me, if he has done that to me, I would certainly be expecting a fair bit of punishment for something like that.
not a bad expectation. Oh well, if you want to stay around, I'm going to be trying to set up a meeting that you'd want to be a part of.
As you wish.
But
Gonna
yeah,
go over to the corner, and if you let her, she's gonna obfuscate.
doesn't mind.
Mm-hmm.
This could be interesting.
Okay.
I have to show trust to people. All right, come back in.
Okay. Crap, He looks around, confused, not seeing the Nosferatu anywhere.
Don't
Looks
worry.
at you.
Just be ready in case anything happens as usual. And thank you.
Okay, about 15 minutes later, you have the Ravnos arrive then. Casually.
In those 15 minutes, if it's all right, I will go ahead and send a message off to Halfdan. I'm going to inform him that he and his clan need to see about going and getting Archie. He's currently being protected by a bunch of his crocodiles in the swamp. Kind of torpid.
Okay. I'm gonna still. By the way, yeah, Halfdan knows that Kurt's coming back, right? It was told to him before. Yeah, I'm gonna be still waiting for Kurt. But yeah, continue with Epic.
Yep, and then I also asked if he could come over to the tower in a little while.
There are 8 alligators there. They may well all die.
They do have animalism. It could help.
That just lets you talk to them. They're loyal to Archie, and if they're trying to get at his body...
I am Halfdan. I am one who speaks with the gators. The gators say fuck off.
Remember the 2 hell dogs? How that conversation went?
Yes. I don't like animals. This is why I like humans.
Alright. I need to remember the Ravnos' name. Why am I always so terrible to names just everywhere? Fuck me.
It's Jimmy.
Ah, hey Jimmy!
Good evening, Vivian. I was kind of expecting this meeting, actually. How can I help you?
It's actually really simple. I just wanted to clarify what's going on with the, gun factory and everything and see about clearing up things about that. So apparently that is going to just default over to you unless anything is done about it. I don't really mind you having the gun factory or anything. It's not something I particularly like myself. But I do need to see about possibly getting my own finances up to snuff in such a similar manner. Would you see about assisting me if I just let you go ahead and have that?
Well, if your own retainers are not doing well enough, certainly. I would be happy to help you with your finances, my prince.
Mm-hmm. Particularly, I would like to try and get my own up to a similar level of the gun factory, which I figure you can help out better than anyone. So yeah, if you wish, I could see about if you wished an exchange of a boon as well, I don't mind.
I don't think that will be necessary for the immediate future, getting the other half of the factory is reward aplenty. Though I have to say that the resources of the city have to a large extent been claimed. Your best bet might be to start some new ventures. I believe the prince was concerned with developing the city long term. The previous prince, that is.
Yep. That's understandable. Yeah, I don't. Just wanted to try and see about acquiring your help and getting my own finances to a similar level. That way, we can actually try and do things by ourselves independently.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, I'm gonna give you a bit of a heads up that the demon apparently went crazy going through the city yesterday. Caused a lot of incidents.
What demon?
There's a demon going around. Are you not going to Elysium or anything? Don't worry about it.
I mean, not that of. What demon?
There's a demon in the city. They seem to be willing to try and talk, but William and Thorbrand went and confronted it, and apparently it got pretty bad. So it kind of went through the city, revealing itself, and I'm trying to fix the masquerade that way. The media immediately tried to pick up on something going wrong with the waters, and that means there's probably an inspection of any factories, especially new ones, on the sea right now.
Oh, son of a bitch!
So yeah, that's gonna be taking up your time immediately.
Well, I hope
If you need assistance, I have no issue going and either getting other people to help with this or going
Yes, I could probably use backup from someone who can dominate mortals. Other than that, I should be covered. I think we have all the permits and inspections in order, but this is not good.
I agree. I wanted to try and give you a heads up as quick as I could get you there.
Yeah. Thank you. That's very useful. Thank you. He seems
All right.
genuinely and deeply upset with these new happenings.
I don't blame him. This is gonna be a bitch to work with for a little while. But at least he can be happy that he's getting the gun factory.
Mm-hmm. Shit. And we were just having the destroyer fitted with the new prototypes. God.
Yep. We'll handle it. Just need to try and, see about figuring things out. That's all. All right. Well, that's mainly what I wanted to see about talking about. Is there anything you want to talk to me about?
Well, other than the I assume that you will give me a basic level of backing in terms of not letting people fuck with my finances, but since we're gonna be working together on financial matters, I assume we're, just gonna arrange matters to mutual satisfaction then, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
No problem. Have a good night. Good luck trying to help fix that stuff up. Just tell me if you need anything.
Yeah. Like I said, some would dominate. And don't take this the wrong way, but it might be better if they're not a Malkavian, but I'll take what I can get.
It's all good. No problem.
You're sending him a Malkavian, aren't you?
I'll send whoever is available and not currently going to be needed for other shit.
Uh-huh. He heads out.
I might even go myself. I have some very useful abilities for trying to assuage such things. Besides that, I need to fix the masquerade before we start trying to deal with fixing the masquerade problems in some ways.
Epic, give me another luck die. Lower is bad for your visitors.
Got a 6. And just remind you if the Sabbat are an issue, I get an Auspex roll.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that leaves, surprisingly, the Tremere. Huh. I didn't think they'd be last. Oh well.
I mean, there are
I didn't
so
call them
many
anyway.
people who dislike William that the interviews they just drag on and on. So 7 versus 4. That means she's rolling at -3 to see through. Okay. I think she's smart enough to try and hide that she has noticed, so that would be like a wit subterfuge, I would say. So someone's perception alertness. Okay. Yeah, the meeting seemed to be over when there's another knock on the door. And the Tremere peeks in. It's a vampire. I don't think you've necessarily seen her yet.
No, not particularly. I know she's been around, but that's from other people.
Uh-huh. Just pokes her head in. Hello? You're Vivian,
Hello
right?
there. Yes. And who might you be?
My name's Aurelia. I'm, over from, yonder in Europe. I'm here about William.
Ah! Welcome, Aurelia.
She just looks in Michelle's general direction. Well, let's roll to see if she notices, actually, because it would be weird and funny if she did not. And Michelle has, like, insane amounts on not being seen. So, maybe? Defender wins. She just sits down. Do you mind sending the ghoul out?
Is there something that needs my attention with him not in the room? I don't mind, but
sort of pauses in her tracks. No, of course not. I'm just not used to them being present when elders are speaking.
oh, just barely got this new room and everything. Still trying to get everything up in order here. Well, what did you need?
Well, it's more a question of what you need. It has come to the clan's attention that William might not have been working with our allies in good faith, and I'm investigating.
Yeah, I'd generally agree with that assessment. Currently, me and him have a deal working that I won't interfere with him as long as he's not causing any issues with any other vampires, but I suspect that's been broken, but I haven't gotten any evidence of the fact.
I see. What is your current willpower?
Horrible. Don't worry about it. It's horrible. You don't need to look at it.
So I'm just gonna assume at 3.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean, it's the minimum, so yeah, go ahead. My highest is 4. Don't worry about it.
Okay, just nods. I see. Huh. Well, I take it that William is a detriment to your city and he's gonna have a tough time earning his way back into any kind of trust.
generally speaking, probably yes.
Okay.
Unless I'm drastically wrong about everything I suspect is going on, in which case, then that's probably all right. But if everything I'm thinking is going on is actually the way it is, yeah.
By the way, did you know there's a somebody downstairs watching your front door?
Oh, that's interesting. I checked my front door.
Okay, you're gonna need to roll to try and pierce through obfuscate. He has 4, so you would be rolling at 5. Case.
All right. I think awareness is my weak point, isn't it?
It might
Yeah.
be.
Well, kind of.
Hey, you scan around and wait, is that someone just standing in a doorway on the opposite end of the opposite side of the street? Ah, yes. Yes, it is. Oh, you haven't seen him for like half a year. That's Charlie over there.
Ah, Charlie, who ran off and caused a bunch of issues, was part of the Savant. Now,
Like is part of the Sabbath.
was and then is again. You know how it goes. Oh, look, Charlie. Huh. Well, he ran off with the Sabbat.
Huh.
Interesting. I'll have to make sure that people know about him when they're coming in. Well, thank you. That was good information.
So he's not one of yours.
No, he used to be. Was part of the city once, but what exactly did he do to really hurt the city? I remember he did something.
He
that was, like,
abducted Andy.
Oh yeah, yeah. He abducted Andy and brought him over to the Sabbat.
Andy. I think I heard that name in passing.
The other, the old prince's child.
Oh, neonate. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. All right. So, did you need any information or anything like that?
Well, anything that you would like to share that might speak in William's favor or against him, we're kind of trying to decide what to do with him.
Shit, you really put it that way. That is awesome. Well, personally speaking, I really dislike his methods of doing things in the first place. How he ended up trying to paint one of his own members in order to, you know, get out of issues, trying to assassinate other people. I generally dislike a lot of it.
I see. So
The
much
fact
the
that
same.
it seems like he had some issues with, you know, setting up his ghouls as some kinds of watchmen around his domain, which then caused issues when other people's ghouls visited. His own, you know, retainers and such, torturing another vampire. I think he's quite the big headache at the moment, yes.
I see. Well, other than Halfdan speaking for him in rather strong terms, I do think it's a relatively clear picture of how people view him. I do believe I will be able to do something about that.
Cool. In that case, do you know who would be over to replace William?
In all honesty, I do not know, and that matter, unless she is reprimanded or overridden in some way, would fall to the local law.
Okay. I just wanted to see if I could get to know whoever would be replacing him.
I honestly don't know. He has rather a well-built chantry, so probably someone who has earned a great deal of respect and authority in the clan would end up with the prize, cause it would be considered a prize, but other than that, I personally don't. I'm here to investigate William.
Well, if I know you're fairly high up, if you would let the clan know that I would be willing to work with many people as long as they would not cause any kind of real issues in the city. You know, usual thing.
I see.
As long as they can keep deals, that would be very nice too.
Okay, give me a perception empathy roll. Okay.
I wasn't sure what difficulty, so I just went with 6.
Okay. Yeah. You see her making a completely wrong mental note. She read that as, better send someone who can work a whole lot better with us, or else your clan is nearing the purge line.
If that's how she wants to take it. I mean, technically, she could just be still reading my mind, can't she?
She could
Yeah.
be, but she's not gonna poke into the Elder Malkavian's mind. This job isn't paying enough for that.
Yeah, actually, when you put it that way, that does sound like a good. I forgot that part of the reason I designed my character this way was poking in a Elder Malkavian's mind is generally that as not very nice.
So apparently William, based on what she's picking up, has pissed off someone who's a genuinely good person as an elder, to the point where they are threatening to purge the clan if they send someone else like that over.
That is very interesting. I don't mind. It wasn't what I intended, but that's fine.
She's judging based on her own frame of reference, okay?
That's what I get for trying to dissuade her of, don't worry too much about who you send. As long as they can just, keep up a deal, it's fine.
She stands up and holds out her hand. I think we have an understanding, Your Highness. I will
Thank you.
present my recommendations to the clan and pass along
It was
your recommendation.
Yep, it was pleasant meeting you. Have a very nice night.
Ah yes, if you don't mind, I believe I shall use magic to depart, what with Sabbat agents watching the entrance.
Yep, no problem.
So, it was 5, then 50, then 500 yards, and then it was like 5 miles, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Should be.
So, I'm gonna call that a difficulty 7. So, Dork somewhere in the city. Yeah, she just goes boom and vanishes in thin air.
So, Michelle, do you want to see about helping me with apparently a Sabbat member trying to ambush people in front of my door?
She responds with, I'm not sure I would be able to see them if they are hidden. Meanwhile, Dougal is gonna roll a frenzy check because this is not okay. He thought the room was secure. Now, you might laugh at a difficulty 3 roll, but there's a chance he will fail and charge the Nosferatu Primogen.
Watch.
Nope.
Aw.
You just see him tense and the sword slide half a foot out of its scabbard. He just
Calm
tenses
down,
up.
Dougal. There's no issue.
What the? You
I asked her to stay. Why?
grinds his teeth.
But Dougal, we seem to have an intruder on the grounds.
Yes. Up front, you said.
Let's see about getting people ready and then going and grabbing them.
Yes, I am ready. What must I do?
Preference is incapacitation or torpor for information means. Other than that, unless they, for some reason want to talk, but even then we want to, bring them in, so. Well, let's just get everyone up and head outside.
Okay, of the people that know the supernatural, you have one of your other ghouls here, you have Dougal and you have Michelle right at the moment. The rest of the security have been dominated to deal with people threatening the little girl that's apparently in charge, but they're not in the know. They're
That's fine,
essentially securing the building.
We won't bring them for the Samedi, because that would be mask breaking at the moment, and I'm not ready for that yet. I need
Okay.
more secure power base. But yeah, I'll bring everyone else. Make sure that they have some form of way to attack, whatever Michelle wants to do, things like that.
Michelle's actually gonna ask if you're coming as well. And how many...
Yeah.
She sighs. I'd rather not fight, but I can cover you with my powers to make all of you unseen.
Oh, that would help a lot. Thanks.
So you get to bring up to 5 people covered under Obfuscate 5. Plus Michelle.
Yay. Let's see. I'll check up. How close is the sheriff? How close is Halfdan?
Halfdan, you are trying to convince a group of gangrel that it's not a suicide mission to go into the swamps where Archie was bragging about the immense amount of crocs he has apparently managed to ghoul.
We just gotta keep it calm, peaceful, but we have to save our fellow brethren.
He brought 2 of those things to Elise once. I saw those teeth, Halfdan! I am not going!
Trust me, it's going to be okay. If there's one thing I know, they're just probably protecting him. All we have to do is not anger them.
Halfdan, you actually have to bring almost the entire Gangrel clan to actually have a good shot at this.
God bless.
Give me a charisma leadership roll at 8. Because they
Wait,
know those crocs.
Is that with enchanting voice?
Enchanting voice does lower it. You
So
sewer
is it a
tongued
6 now?
bastard. Yes.
Okay. So difficulty 6. Let's go. Okay. Charisma is forceful.
I think you were trying to be reasonable there, not forceful.
Yeah, not forceful.
Do you have something on your leadership? You don't.
No, just 2 dots.
Okay, let's see. Maxim and Kenzia are not interested in going, but the rest eventually come around. So you have 5 gangrel of varying levels of power who are willing to try this, as long as you promise not to be a fucking idiot about this.
Alright, so if you go with them, that's 6. You're only 3 short of being equal forces.
Who am I missing? I'm
You're
missing
singing
Fred.
live.
Yeah. So I have a feeling that they might win, but I would bet on the Crocs if they fight in the water, which they would have to.
You see,
Yeah,
I
I
want
bet
to
on
try
the cross
diplomacy, but I don't think diplomacy works for the animals. That's the
Look,
worst.
there's only one way this could work. Actually, no, there's a couple ways, but the way I want to see it work. You must activate your armor and charge in yourself. Get surrounded and distract them.
That might actually work.
That is a fair point, actually. It's kind of the thing I
Grow
do.
your legend. Be the tank you were meant to be.
That is kind of what I do.
Okay. Is that how you wish to approach this, Demi?
Archie might not be the happiest, but there's more gators in the swamp, just like there's more fish in the sea. And these are dangerous fucking gators.
It's either that or wait for him to get out of torpor. So
Yeah,
Okay,
crocodiles are dangerous shit. They're
if
not
you
dogs.
manage to... How much blood do you have in your system? You're full,
I'm
right?
fucking full. The night hasn't passed yet. I've been keeping myself up.
Okay, we'll do it this way. We're gonna assume that virtually the entire Gangrel clan can kill the gators if you distract them well enough. So, I'm gonna need a manipulation animal can roll. You're gonna spend a fuck ton of blood and the Gangrel might be able to take out the gators without horrible deaths.
That's fucking 5 dice. Manipulation animal kin? Okay.
Then willpower.
Okay, first, yeah. 5 dice, and I'm gonna be spending willpower. So, difficulty?
Well, actually, if you wanted to approach this differently, you could try and use Animalism 3 to soothe all of them one at a time and just remove Archie while they're kind of like, okay.
I don't think that's going to work. If I try one, the rest are coming.
Okay,
Right.
then roll manipulation animal can.
At difficulty?
Watch.
At 6, but
yeah,
you
can
need
punch his willpower.
a lot of successes.
I'm sitting for. There was Volt. There was
Ah!
Come on.
Okay,
Why
so
not?
reduce
Yeah.
yourself to 4 blood, and somehow you are just like Jesus on the cross being dragged in every direction without it doing anything. He's just sliding across your flesh as the Gangrel follow the gators from behind, ripping into them, drinking their blood, and taking them out one by one.
That's kind of awesome, actually.
I'm glad I suggested this action, Debbie.
Yeah, no, that was amazing. Oh, man, do I need a feed now. But, hey, we got Archie.
Gator corpses, one by one, are floating to the surface.
Archie will be so upset with you guys.
Archie's going to be fucking upset. It's not my fault he went into torpor in the middle of a fucking swamp.
This is my swamp!
If there's one, they always say learn from your enemies. If there's one thing my enemy has taught me, you have to secure what is yours. You have not secured what is yours.
Well, to be fair, one Gangrel and Scylla's retainers versus the entire rest of the Gangrel clan.
Or one Ventru baddie boy.
To be fair, that sounds reasonable until you hear those retainers are 9 alligators all protecting him in a swamp.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got the high ground, even though it's kind of going underwater.
In theory, that should have actually been very reasonable just to hold off a clan for however long.
Well, they are a clan that deals with animals, so they would be able to figure out that actually trying to rip into them wouldn't work worth a damn and would end horribly. Draining their blood and life force, on the other hand, would be effective. Especially since that's how
Yes.
Demi eventually won against the dogs.
Yeah.
By the way, I remember not being able to see that, so I'm glad I hear about how he did it.
He ended up frenzying. That's the only reason he survived. He lost control.
Yeah.
Hey, the sheriff looks like he's dropped off the goal. He has the 2 torpid Malkavians in the back and the shotgun on the passenger seat next to him as he's driving towards you.
How close is he towards us?
He's about 10 minutes away by the time you check in on him before heading out.
Oh, interesting. So, Michelle, do you wish to get some more reinforcements? The sheriff is about to arrive.
Oh, good. Good. I'd rather not get caught in the middle of a fight. I mean,
Yeah. It'll be about 10 minutes. So So I think we'll be ready for when things get going down, and then we'll head out.
Okay. Do you at any point check in on Archie again? Or not Archie, what's his face? Did I already forget? Charlie.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to do right after I tell the sheriff that we have Charlie on the grounds outside, obfuscated.
Okay, so you tell that to the sheriff and you check in on Archie. Roll to pierce obfuscate again for me, please. This would be at a 5. Okay, you see him. It looks like he is now heading to towards a car and pulling out a set of keys from one of his pockets.
Ooh, what car is this?
It's probably insert generic model that is so common everyone just kind of ignores it.
Yeah, I was just making sure that I did take note of what car this was.
Yeah. From the way he's walking, you can tell that he's nervous, perhaps worried about having lingered so long already.
How unfortunate for him. Actually, oh, when I am torn on to do property damage.
I mean, that is technically wrong at your level of humanity.
The thing is, I am torn on it because it just depends if it's his. If it's not his and he's just stealing it, I actually can't do it myself. Shit.
You do see him getting out a set of keys, so if he stole it, he did it by getting keys off of someone.
Somewhere else. Okay. In that case, it looks like he's about ready to get going. Apparently, he's getting a little nervous. I could just talk and still walk. I'm great. Clairvoyance is OP.
Yeah, it is. It really
Yeah,
is.
as you're walking, they have to, keep you from running into someone once or twice, but we're gonna assume that you are heading downstairs and gathering everyone up and essentially are ready to head out.
Yep. All right. So that means that the best way to do this is to try and prevent him from going anywhere. As he's getting keys, he's probably going to get to the car first. Is he doing this in the parking lot?
It looks like he's a couple of streets over from what you can tell.
Ah, okay. He's a couple streets over. We can totally see about blocking him in if we really wanted.
You could try and direct the sheriff towards him.
I know where the car. Can I tell what car he's going to?
Yeah. At this point, he's, essentially unlocking the door.
All right. Then I go back to the sheriff. I inform him of the location and of where the car is. And well, we're gonna see about setting up an ambush. I got Michelle. She's willing to obfuscate
He just
the
stops
people with
you
me.
mid-speech. Vivian, I have 2 of your clanmates torpid in the back. Are you sure you want me to take this car into battle right now?
No, not the car itself, but I do want to see about getting this guy. It's fairly important.
Kurt got hurt fighting Halfdan a while back, but he keeps getting into fights, so he's still hurt is the thing.
I know, that's a real issue. If you don't feel like it's something that you can do at the moment, I think we can handle it ourselves.
This is entirely... He's on his own, right? No one near him?
Yes.
Listen, let's get to your tower, pick up a good spot and I'll just pull him to us with presents, okay?
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Okay, that sounds like a great plan.
He hasn't really advertised that he has that power, has he? Useful for sheriff, though.
It is very useful for a sheriff. All right, well, Michelle, we can head back. The sheriff says that he's just gonna summon him, so he can't run away. We'll just get ready at the tower instead of trying to do anything over that way.
Do you want to try and do something like with Streetwise to pick out an out-of-the-way spot in the middle of downtown?
Let's see. I don't think I got shit for Streetwise, do I? No, I don't.
It is still something you can roll since it's a talent.
Yeah, but I think I would rely on other people for that kind of shit.
You
That's
can
not
ask,
something Vivian does.
You can ask Michelle to try and pick out an appropriate spot. She might have Streetwise.
It would make a lot of sense.
Or
Michelle, do you
Google.
want to see about checking out a spot that would be good for this?
I guess. Sure. She just
Welcome, Michelle. This is being a team player.
She just looks around. I think that's an underground parking lot. Might be. I mean, there shouldn't be too many people down there. Better than on the street.
Okay. Vivian doesn't do ambushes much. Hopefully this is all right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, we assume that everyone gathers there.
Everyone gathers.
Kurt just parks his car out of the way. See him just glare at Wald as he gets out, with her propped up in the back seat.
We'll wake her up later.
Mm-hmm.
We have an issue at the moment.
Yeah, Kurt doesn't even have that much blood. Kurt has been very busy these past couple of nights.
Well, hopefully he's not even really needed, per se. But we'll find out.
Okay, need to wait for this to open up properly. This goddamn external hard drive. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Presents. Presents came after Thaumaturgy. I think the best way to find presents is search for Dread Gaze, since that is relatively rarely mentioned in the book. So it's Charisma Subterfuge, and it's a difficulty 5 for someone you know well.
I'd say you knew him pretty well, actually.
Yep. So, someone slams on the brakes a couple of blocks over and does a U-turn, a very legal U-turn, and heads back in this direction. Okay.
So, the biggest issue is, of course, he is currently in a car. How do you guys want to go with that?
Michelle just ducks behind a pillar and obfuscates.
Doesn't seem like a bad plan. We just need him to stop, though.
Huh. I didn't think of that, Kurt answers. Climbs onto a car's roof. Chambers a shell in the shotgun. I hope this is good enough. Do you hear that? You hear that?
I turn around, obfuscate, and I just mentioned to my ghouls. So,
Okay.
At least the one with a gun.
Your
Shoot at
obfuscate
the
breaks
tires real quick.
as you start
No, it
talking
doesn't.
to your goals.
No, I have a better way to do things. I send thoughts.
Ah. One at a time.
Yeah, because I just send it to the one with the gun at the moment.
Okay.
So, get out of the way and aim for the tires.
Okay.
And then over to the one with the sword. Try and see about getting the vampire themselves once they come to a stop. And there you go. Surprise, I can keep obfuscate on with talking to people because I said thoughts. I am OP.
Okay. Roll for initiative. Okay. Excellent. So, Charlie comes screeching in. You can probably see through his mask of 1,000 faces, which makes him look less like a rotting monster. As he heads. Let's see. Yeah, Dougal is not very smart, but he does have a lot of wits. Yeah, it was specifically mentioned. He's probably standing on a car as well.
I don't blame him. He does what he wants to do. I just told him to, be careful and try and go for the vampire.
Okay, Okay, assuming everyone is in appropriate cover. Stephanie. Stephanie is obfuscated at the moment, because she does have one dot of obfuscate. So, yeah, you kind of just see Charlie driving in at a steady pace towards the sheriff, and then you just hear him slam on the gas as he realizes who the fuck is doing this.
And now he's gonna get the surprise of his life when suddenly all the people.
Okay, so the way this is gonna happen, the people with guns who choose to go for it are gonna have essentially readied actions to shoot. The rest are gonna react after the crash, but the people with guns get a shot off as the car is accelerating. So this is a shot for the tires, which Stephanie misses.
Luckily, it's not a botch.
Yep. Kurt gives no fucks. He attempts to shotgun him in the face.
It didn't work either.
Yeah, it just cracks the windshield. I think managing to crash into another car in a way that lets you sort of jump the front of your car onto it and try and hit a vampire on top of it should be really hard. So we're gonna call it an attack roll at difficulty 9 with Dex Drive.
That sounds alright, yeah. It sounds like something semi-doable, but definitely nowhere near easy.
Okay!
Well!
He goes flying over Kurt as Kurt ducks low. And you just see the car tip to one side, and you just smell the gasoline and see the shower of sparks from metal sliding over pavement get kicked up a moment before the whoosh starts, rushing back towards the car that attempted this attack.
Okay, it sounds like an explosion is about to occur.
Okay, The car is still skidding to a halt when next round comes around. It hasn't exploded yet, but that is probably imminent. Everyone declare your actions. Kurt declares oh fuck. Dodge. Kurt would like to dive
Vivian
for
was
cover.
already a fair distance and in some kind of cover, so I think she's probably okay.
You would have to dodge as well. It would be easier for you, but essentially the car has now sailed. You were out of direct line of sight from it as it was coming in, but it has now sailed way past those positions and is essentially on the other side of your little setup. Because it, like I said, it flew over the car that Kurt was standing on.
Well, Vivian's just going to try and get in the best position she can and dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Get around the other side of the cement pillar. Please get around the other side of the cement pillar.
Yep. I think Stephanie has to roll wits courage here to not freeze.
Well, she froze, so no dodge action. Should be pretty far as well, so that's the good news.
Okay, Michelle, well now. That's not a good. Michelle would like to get out of the way as well. Michelle is gonna spend 2 of her blood points, and I should roll to see how much she has in her system. Yeah, she's gonna spend 2 blood points on buffing Dex. So she has a chance to dodge. Dougal! Yeah, Dougal's gonna try and dodge as well. But he's gonna actually willingly make this more difficult and try and dodge forward to the nearest cover instead of backwards. So that he's close enough to Claymore bitch if he somehow gets out.
Dougal, you're the hero I needed.
Vivian, you are dodging, and Charlie, well now.
Oh, it wasn't actually my turn quite yet.
Yeah.
Oh, I announced way too early. If that's the case, during my turn, I will also specify spending some blood on dexterity myself.
Okay, excellent.
I go up to 7.
Charlie, well, first of all, we're gonna say 3 blood points going to Fortitude, because this is starting to look like cooked Samedi. An extra blood point goes into Celerity. He would like to try and get the fuck out of the car.
It's most unfortunate for him that the celerity most likely will just be a dodge.
Well,
right next to the car, too.
With 4 1s, he essentially is... The car came down on the driver's side.
Oh, shit.
So, you can imagine how easy this is gonna be to get the fuck out before explosion happens.
Hey.
He got a success.
Okay, then all of you, as you start to dodge, see something propelled from the car through the windshield that was just kicked out as it explodes. So, let's see. The fire, he essentially soaks because the Fortitude is active. You can say, for him...
Didn't we rule that fire wouldn't be able to be auto-soaked?
No, we didn't.
That's for Flesh of Marble, because that's part of the description.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
Fortitude has always been fine with it.
Okay, let's see. So, he's at ground 0. For him, we're gonna say it's 12 dice of lethal. For the people on top of the car, it's gonna be 8, which will be heavily mitigated by their ability to dodge. For you, further on, it's gonna be 4 dice of lethal. And there's gonna be a little bit of fire mixed in as well, depending on if you manage to get out of the way well enough. Okay. That's fun. So, one unactivated Fortitude. And he's taken 5 points of lethal. And he's still very close to the Raging Firestorm, close enough to take damage, so he'll have to use the Select action to essentially get away from the fire bad situation.
Or be fire baddie. Yep.
So, your dodges. They're all gonna be at difficulty 6, we're gonna say. The ones that were hiding behind the pillars and the like, one success is gonna be enough to get you out of the way. For those on top of the cars, Kurt is gonna need 3 to be fully safe, and Dougal's gonna need like 4 because he was moving forward at the same time.
All right. Want me to go through? How do you want to do this? Do you want to do this based on how damaging each one was, or?
Essentially, those on top of the cars essentially were both closer and more exposed. So they need 3. The rest of you, Dougal and Kurt, need 4 and 3. The rest of you need 1 on Dex Athletics.
Okay. Here's mine.
Okay, you're safe. So Stephanie and Michelle. Michelle buffed her dex because Michelle really doesn't want to get burninated.
Michelle got burninated.
Okay, let's just start rolling for getting burned. I think getting burned was 7 on the Rotrek thing.
I think so.
Okay, she has
It goes
one
to a regular
turn,
Ross track.
which she already spent on the dodge attempt, essentially. Well, we're gonna say she has one more turn, because this happened on this turn.
Yeah, that's fine.
Kurt got 2 successes, and I don't think I declared that he activated Fortitude. So apparently he takes a point of aggravated. And let's see. He was risking something with, like, I said 8, right? So we're gonna say that he's managed to get down enough that there's 3 dice of lethal left. Okay, and he takes a point of lethal on top. And now for Dougal. Is he the hero we know him to be?
He is the hero we know him to be.
Holy shit.
Okay. You see him rush forwards towards the car as the fire rushes towards it, and he just ducks down and covers his head behind a pillar a millisecond before fire erupts around him without touching him. Okay then.
You know what's hilarious? Everyone got fucked except for me and my girls.
Which reminds me, I need to roll for Kurt getting burned as well, because he might be running.
Nah. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
He's good.
Kurt is a stunk, man.
On the other hand, he's hurt as fuck, but
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Kurt kind of has a problem with what's happening here. Gonna spend a point of willpower. And he has a lot of self-control. We're gonna spend 2 celerity actions on extra shots with a semi-auto shotgun to the head, because fuck this one cunt. Except that we forgot Charlie's celerity action, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. I thought that was just part of him running out of the flames, but
Yeah, it is. He got launched out of the car by the explosion, and with the celerity action he gets out of direct. We're gonna see if he gets far enough to be considered out of direct line of sight, essentially. Because he was trying to essentially get as far from the fire as possible with the second action. So that's 5. We're gonna say the second one is at 6. And see how he does.
did really well.
Yeah. Okay. I think I take the willpower down there for ignoring wound penalties. So, okay. Apparently he's out of line of sight. It's problematic if he decides to re-obfuscate this turn and start moving away. So, yeah. You know what? We're gonna say that Kurt spends 1 blood point on an extra celerity action because he is low, and the willpower on ignoring wound penalties. And he's just gonna use his main action to just make a full running move around the edges, and the celerity action to shoot once he sees the fucker. Stephanie is gonna stick close by and be ready to shoot him if he comes at her or Vivian. Michelle, you can't necessarily see her, but you know, it might be prudent to cover the exit, like away from the fire. That sounds like a good idea. She's gonna do that. Dougal is gonna attempt a Highland charge towards the pillar where the fucker ended up.
Yep. Dougal might have a chance of getting to him before he can obfuscate. He did do very good on keeping close to him.
He did. He got 5 successes. So, I think that's gonna be a with stealth to intercept him, to see if he can position himself well enough. Yeah, I think that's how we're gonna do it. If he gets, say, 3 successes at a difficulty 6 with stealth. Actually, we're gonna.
Yep.
Dougal is gonna try and swing through that where that fucker is supposed to be as he moves up. But the with stealth will determine just how high difficulty he's swinging at.
Cool.
And if
Vivian is going to go around and remember she is a child, so she's very slow though. So the only thing she's going to probably be able to maybe do is get in a position to maybe see him and point him out if he obfuscates.
Okay, you can certainly aim to try and point him out. Well, funnily enough, that is what Charlie was planning to do. And spend 2 points on healing besides. So let's see if he can. I think since he's obfuscating and trying to move, that's enough to try and require a roll. And no, he is not healing after all. But he was ignoring wound penalties, so all is well. Give me a roll to see if you're seeing through his new casting. Wait, no, that's the wrong difficulty. Doing. Be at 7. Yeah, okay. You see him.
I point him out, breaking both my own obfuscate if it was on. If not, I don't care.
Mhm.
I was just trying to get in a position, so. And then pointing him out, he's right there.
Okay. You do that, but I am gonna require you to make courage rolls at a 5, let's say, because there's a lot of fire and it is an enclosed space. Even if you're keeping your distance from it.
Courage rolls, difficulty 5.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. There is a lot of fire, though, so it does make sense. I can't justify risking people's lives for not using this, so I'll spend a willpower point to ensure this will go through for this round at least.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Wow, you have courage of 1.
Well, let's see if Dougal, since there is a lot of fire,
Eventually, I go in raw trick as well.
let's see if he risks taking any damage by moving in a more or less direct line along the fire's perimeter, but looks like he's fine. And you pointing the fucker out as he was moving off, I'm gonna say that's good enough for Dougal to adjust his course and go for him. So we said a claymore was a +3 in this case?
Yep.
Or
Yep,
a
we did.
+4? I think it was...
Goodbye.
Plus
Should
3.
be +4.
We said plus
I
3.
thought that was specific to the Prince's Claymore for some
The
reason.
prince didn't have a claymore, he had a broadsword. And I think a well-made one. Yeah, I
it's
think
Okay,
that-
well, up to you.
I think we said +3 in this case. So that's 5 strength, 1 potence, 3 for claymore, 3 for extra successes.
Goodbye.
1 shot, 1 kill.
I mean, technically it's soakable.
So as you see Charlie turn towards you with a shocked expression, you see Dougal come out of the edge of your vision and a sword arcing upwards with a glint in the firelight. And then you just, your hearing registers the screaming.
And I believe that he is now torpid, at least.
He is very much torpid. That sheared through his jaw and went up into his brain, you think.
God bless. It only took 3 rot checks and a burned car.
Now for the police
well,
player.
actually, surprisingly, this is going to be one of the easiest things to deal with. So I just tell Dougal to... really, I do have a couple turns, so... I just tell Dougal and the sheriff, get ready to get into the... bring everybody back to the tower. I need to... there's a lot of fire. I'm gonna be away for a while.
And you go running. Okay. So the sheriff succeeded, so they and Dougal managed to drag the body free before everything goes to shit. Congratulations! Yep. You grabbed a Samedi.
We grabbed a Samedi, no one died. Some people got a little hurt, but that's not bad.
Okay, why don't we
Successful.
split the recording here and take 2 minutes to grab new drinks, etc.
Yeah.